Nach ungefähr 3 Monaten,
After around 3 months or 4 months of
nach über 4
preparation,
Tagen
after more than 4
hier,
days of setup
nach
here,
2 Tagen
after 2
Generalprobe
days of
und nach
testing
unzähligen
and
Corona-Tests
many
fangen wir jetzt
coronavirus
endlich an. Und ich habe
tests,
mich
we
wahnsinnig gefreut.
now
Ich freue
start.
mich,
And it's a
dass
great
ich
pleasure
euch,
for
dass ich
me
Sie jetzt
to be
hier
able
herzlich
to
willkommen
welcome all of you
heißen darf zu
here
unserer ersten
to our
rein
first
digitalen
purely
Messe, wenn Sie so
digital
wollen, zum
trade fair,
MHP
if you like,
Festival of
to the
Digital
MHP
Excellence.
Festival of Digital
Ich bin sehr
Excellence.
stolz, dass ich
I am proud
alle 2500 deutschen
that all
MHPler
2,500 MHP employees, more than 1,100 guests are here
Ich
today.
verspreche Ihnen, ich verspreche
And I
euch,
promise you
ihr könnt euch auf etwas freuen.
that it will
Ich
be
meine,
a
wenn wir
great
bei
day.
MHP von einem MHP-Festival
When we
sprechen,
here at MHP talk about an MHP festival, then of course we all, especially myself, think of party.
sondern wir haben ein
This will not
Festival
really be the
der
case today.
Kompetenzen.
We have a festival of competence today.
50 Speakerinnen
We have more than
Speaker,
50
sowohl extern
speakers,
als auch intern,
external
teilen
and
mit uns
internal
ihre
ones,
Kompetenzen.
who will share their
über die
competencies
aktuellen
with us,
Themen
who will
dieser Zeit,
discuss about the
nicht nur
current
im
topics of today, not only in the digital area. 600 minutes of content, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, in parallel streams, of course. You cannot watch everything. You have to select. But you can look forward to a very interesting, inspiring and motivating day.
Ich auf jeden Fall freue mich,
I am very happy that I can be together with you, even if it's just digital. MHP is happy that you are our guests today, and
freuen sich.
I hope that my first panel guests are also looking forward to me in half an hour after this keynote.
Meine Damen und Herren, liebe
Ladies and
Kolleginnen,
gentlemen,
liebe Kollegen,
colleagues,
vor ziemlich genau einem Jahr haben wir hier
almost exactly 1 year ago, we had here our first digital or virtual event. You might remember that. AHAT, it was called.
Damals hatten wir 2 zentrale
Then
Fragen.
we had 2 central questions.
Corona sein.
What will the economy look like after the
Da haben wir
pandemic,
jetzt
after
eine
COVID-19?
12 Monate ältere
Now,
Meinung.
We have 12 months later, and we have more experience now. And then the second question was the crisis as innovation possibility. Well, the coronavirus pandemic, the crisis, was the most
in der Geschichte der Digitalisierung.
speedy and biggest change management project in history.
Die Bedenkenträger,
We felt pressure.
die Hinterfrager,
Those who criticized all that, who always put everything into question, they had no chance to ask questions. We all here or in front of our screens,
wir alle haben
we
dabei eine
all
Rolle gespielt und
played a
spielen
role in
immer
that,
noch
and
eine
we
Rolle.
are continuing to do
Ich
so.
meine, uns muss man ja nicht sagen.
You don't have to tell us digitization has advantages. But to be honest, in the last 15 months, we really felt that
Leere Autobahnen.
in a good way, no traffic on the highways, in a not so nice way, 5 days in home office in a row. Well, but 40% working from home say, no, that's not too bad. And the world has dramatically changed. It is the fastest change management project in history.
Teams.
When we take a look at the numbers of Microsoft Teams users, and when you Google for that, then you see October 2019 around 20 million users per month. October 2019. October 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, 115 million users, Teams users per month. This is more than 5 times more within just 1 year. So for Microsoft Teams, this was a change management project, the fastest ever. So in the digital world, well, we found our way. But ladies and gentlemen, the world has to face big challenges as well. And we see that in all areas: ecology, economy, the social area. The coronavirus pandemic was just an excerpt from all the challenges that we see. Ecology, climate change hits us all, wherever we are and whomever we are.
Die Herausforderung für die
Then
in Deutschland heimische
the challenge
Automobilindustrie
for the automotive industry in Germany especially, the challenges are massive. We have to take care of that, and I think that the world has hope. Ladies and gentlemen, I say digitalization is a hope to find a better tomorrow. And this is what I would like to share with you in the next 20 minutes.
Dafür habe ich 3 Thesen mitgebracht.
I brought along 3 theses. First of all, digitalization is the hope for sustainability and hope when we fight the climate change.
Die Digitalisierung
so digitization
der etablierten Automobile
is the bearer of hope of the established automotive industry. Second thesis. And thesis number 3, digital platforms are the bearer of hope for new business models in existing industries.
Nehmen wir uns kurz Zeit für die erste These.
Let's take a look at the first thesis.
Digitalisierung ist der
Digitization is a beacon of hope for sustainability and a beacon of hope when we fight climate change. Well, climate change is a worldwide problem. This is a fact. And since the last G7 summit, we did not really see unity with regard to this problem. But how we solve it, well, this is a different story. And how fast as well. So for us, sustainability is the buzzword, is a magic word. It is the predominant topic of our time, sustainability. And we know that it is important. Society, customers, the capital markets, the employees, the associates of the companies, and most of all, our children demand reliable measures so that we, the generation of the decision makers, are taking action. Let's take a look at our mobility, our core business as consultants. Many of the guests come from these companies. Mobility has a big say in the emissions of CO2 and other gases. Without mobility, we cannot achieve efficiency. And we need a digitalization for that. Digitization is the big lever for climate change. Well, digitization will be a beacon of hope to achieve the necessary targets.
Well,
let's take a look at that. There are 2 options. On the one hand, we can create a new economy in line with nature. We do without everything that is harmful. This is very hypothetical. You cannot realize that. You cannot implement that. And from my point of view, it's also not desirable. So there's just the second option left. What we need is, for that, what we want to achieve, if we want to keep our quality of life, we need sustainable solutions. We need to create offers to substitute harmful behavior harmful for the environment. And this is where we come in.
Von denen kreative Digitalisierungsprojekte Lösungen erwartet werden.
People expect from us creative solutions and innovative IT solutions because you
Expertinnen und Expertenkreis gehören.
are also part of this group of experts. We shape a better tomorrow.
Lassen Sie uns das ein bisschen tiefer legen.
Let us deep dive into that.
Nehmen wir die Klimakette, Klimakette.
Let's take a look at the supply chain. This is where it all starts. To optimize the supply chain is something that we have to do as a company if we want to reduce CO2 emissions. We have distances of 15,000 kilometers, but also as a consumer. So the bananas from Colombia, just to give you an example. But every optimization, increase of efficiency in the supply chain can only be implemented with digitalization. Only then can we demand solutions that can be realistically implemented. No one can demand us to manually calculate CO2 certificates. We only can do that with technology. And this is why politicians can demand that. And this is something that is very good for climate change as well. So let's take a look at the change in the automotive area, in the vehicle. We see electric vehicles. The Volkswagen Group sold 800,000 e-vehicles in the past 12 months. Rank 1. Rank 5, by the way, Tesla, with around 100,000. That means the transformation of the classical drive to e-mobility is going on. But you have to shape the change, and this change is only possible with intelligent IT solutions, from battery control, efficiency in the vehicle, range management, motor control, up and to, and this is the basic topic, intelligent charging and extensive charging concepts, charging infrastructure.
Das haben wir beispielsweise von MHP erkannt.
For instance, we at MHP, we realized that, and 2 or 3 weeks ago, you might have read that in the news, we made a joint venture of Transnet BW, this is a subsidiary of EnBW, to be able to make our contribution to that. So without digitalization, without IT support, sustainability will not be possible, will not be feasible. So much for thesis 1. Now thesis 2. Let me explain that. Digitalization is the beacon of hope for the established automotive industry. Well, established, what does that mean? Let me explain that. Well, let's take Europe or Germany. Let's take Germany. For decades, or actually for more than a century, Germany depends heavily on the automotive industry. And in the past decades, we lived very well from that. Around 1.7, 1.8 million jobs directly in the automotive industry. And 3.2 million in all, including the indirect areas. Well, a craftsman in Ingolstadt, of course, also profits from the Audi plant. So it's the core business. But what happens now? We see new players. We see new players on the market. In the new product area, a vehicle, a car, will soon be made of more than 50% of electronic parts. And these electronic parts are operated by means of software. Now we see new players on the market. Players, when we say software beats hardware, this is what we say. So when they are feeling very at home in the software area and we are lagging behind, and if some of the players have really a lot of money, well, you can Google that. Apple yearly result 2020, the result, not turnover, 57 billion. And then I read as well that 18%
aufs Girokonto kommt.
Is the profit. Now you can calculate how much is put aside for investment.
Kommt.
User experience comes due to software.
Und der Kunde, der Endkunde,
And the customer, the final customer,
im Fahrzeug. Das sind wir
wants to
einfach
have IT in the vehicle. From other areas like smartphone, we are just used to that. And this is why the established automotive industry has to do something here, because the product is there. It's set, it's fixed. And only if the automotive industry can achieve that, it will survive as a core industry of Germany.
Nur, das ist gar nicht so einfach.
But it's not
Meine, die bestehende
that
Automobilindustrie
easy. I mean, the existing automotive industry has a disadvantage compared to the new players.
Meine, allein bei VW hängen
Let's take a
beispielsweise
look at Volkswagen. 600,000 jobs depend on
Tag noch
that.
bei 800.000 Fahrzeugen.
For 800,000
weltweit bei 10,
e-vehicles,
11 Millionen,
worldwide maybe
insgesamt
10, 11 million all
Tag
in
noch
all.
vom Verbrenner.
So
Das heißt, die
the
etablierte
jobs
Automobilindustrie
depend on the
kann
combustion
sich
engine
davon
still, and you cannot
Sondern muss
switch
die
just overnight.
Transformation
You
gestalten.
need to shape the
Und das
transformation.
ist eben teuer.
And this is costly.
Weil, ich meine, wie gesagt, zum
Because,
einen die
well,
neuen Investitionen in die
new
neuen
investment,
Produkte, die
new
nicht
products
zu vermeiden ist, auf der anderen
that cannot
Seite
be avoided
auch noch
on the
die
one hand,
Investitionen,
and then
auch
on
wenn
the
sie
other hand,
langsam
reinvestment,
runtergehen,
even if they decrease slowly, also in the classical area.
Der am grünen Tisch
So a new player, well, there it is easier because they can start from scratch. And this is why we see so much of a cost pressure. And this is also the reason why not only the automotive industry, but also the automotive industry, but any other company has to ensure to be efficient. Buzzword production. Lean production has been around for 30 years now. I think this is very established in the big companies. You can now hardly optimize anything there. But here, once again, digitization of the production. In the future,
Sprung
we will
Sprungeffizienzen
see big
ausholen
leaps
werden
forward
durch
with regard to
Digitalisierung.
efficiency due to
Das hat
digitization.
unter anderem einer der größten
One
oder der,
of the biggest or one of the
größten
best
Unternehmen,
known and
vielleicht nicht vom
biggest
Umsatz,
company,
der
maybe
Welt
not
bekannt,
with
nämlich
regard to
die
the revenue, has realized that Munich Re, they,
mit Porsche und MHP.
together with Porsche and MHP, they established a joint venture. We three companies, we want to support the topic, smart factory, the flex factory. We want to set that up.
Catena X.
Cortina X, another example. You all know why this is done.
Skalierung zu erzielen.
To achieve scalability, to efficiently use existing or technical solutions and options, and to
allen ist klar,
extend the basis for that. We all know speed
entscheidend.
is key.
Die These Nummer
The
3,
thesis number 3,
meine Damen und Herren.
ladies and gentlemen.
Digitale Plattformen
Digital
sind der
platforms are the
Hoffnungsträger
beacon
für
of
neue
hope for new
Geschäftsmodelle in
business
bestehenden
models in existing industries.
Dann nehmen wir auch mal wieder die Automobilindustrie.
Let's take once again the automotive industry,
E-Fahrzeug und wenn
the e-vehicle. So when we see the development of the e-vehicle, we see a different kind of distribution of profit. But when we take a look at the megatrend urbanization,
muss ich sagen,
well,
das
then I have to
Fahrzeug
say,
steht heute vielleicht, auf alle
the
bei den
vehicle
drückenden
today,
Generationen,
especially with
auf
the
der
new
Wunschliste
generation,
vielleicht
is
immer
on the
auf
wish
Platz
list, maybe
Und in
not
vielen
number
großen
one.
Städten macht es auch keinen
And
Sinn
in
mehr, sondern man
huge
fordert
cities, it doesn't make sense anymore. What do we need? Flexible mobility concept. A mobility
Das
mix.
heißt letztendlich,
That means, at the end of the
die
day,
Automobilindustrie, in der wir
especially
ja
for
stark
the
zu Hause
automotive
fühlen,
industry, where
schon
we
berechtigte Angst,
feel very much connected
dass die Renditen
to,
nicht mehr so
is
sein werden,
afraid
wie
of
sie heute mal sind.
having
Da
reduced
könnte schon was
returns,
auf uns zukommen.
lower returns compared to
dann
what we have today.
Muss man sagen, was dann?
And
Und
what
deshalb
then? Well,
sind doch alle dran,
this is
neue
why
Geschäftsmodelle
we all
händeringend
need to look for new business models. And how do you do that? Well, on the one hand, labs were established, research is done in this area.
Im Prinzip hier ja, auch die neuen Geschäftsmodelle selbst suchen, aber letztendlich
you want to
beteiligt sich an Venture
find new business opportunities, and venture capital is raised because we need new business models to ensure turnover and growth, and they will be achieved via digital platforms. And well, this has been going on for some years now, and the success models, the big success models, well, you don't see so much of them. It is an interesting topic. We see budget for that, and that's really remarkable. And now we need to ensure that over the next years, especially when we talk about digital topics, we need to leverage that to create new turnover options. Well, in a nutshell,
Digitalisierung ist der Hoffnungsträger der
thesis is the sustainability is the beacon of hope for sustainability, and in the fight against the climate change, digitalization is the beacon of hope of established automotive industries, and digital platforms is the beacon of hope for a new business model in existing industries. These are my three theses, and we are here today, we have one thing in common. We are 3,600 now, and we, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, we play an important role in all of that. As a keynote for this day that focuses on digitization, I wanted to give you a different perspective on digitization. I think that we all have responsibility. Maybe we are just a small part in the huge industry, but we want to have a say in that. We as MHP, we want to make our contribution to develop the technology for a better tomorrow. Digitization is the beacon of hope for a better tomorrow. And we, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, we are part of it.
So, vielen herzlichen Dank, Ralf.
Thank you, Ralf.
Für diesen Start
Thank
in
you
den
for this
Tag.
great start into the day.
Auf euch, auf Sie wartet jetzt ein
Now there is a lot waiting for you. A great MHP festival. We have a great agenda. There are loads of different keynotes and speakers. You can just construct your own agenda for you from the different streams. So go to the streaming area and you click on Shaping Digital Transformation and Personal Development. You find all the talks, just save them. Just use the My Day function and you have a super schedule for the day. Of course, we have a lot of entertainment planned. We have a MHP Festival radio with a DJ. You can express musical wishes. You can wish for songs, for example. Festival greetings, anniversary greetings. Those you can send those as well. And we have planned something great, a wall of the day. That's a unique graffiti robot, so to say. And what does it do? It gathers all the greetings and creates a piece of art during the festival live. Now, coming up, digital platforms as game chasers for future business and collaboration modules in a panel discussion. Just 2 clicks away. Click on the top right, close the session on top right, go to streaming area and click what's next and log in into the panel. Have fun, enjoy the festival.